Lesson 7.3, what affects the impact of consumerism on the economies of Canada and the United States? There's a lot that we can talk about when it comes to consumerism. You are a consumer, I am a consumer. I have my Tim Hortons coffee right here. There's all kinds of other places I could have gone to grab coffee, and for all kinds of different reasons. But I chose this one today because we're going to be talking about impacts today. So stick around and let's learn something. Okay, this brings us to our final lesson, lesson 7.3, final lesson for chapter 7. What affects the impact of consumerism on the economies of both Canada and the United States? All of you are wanting to get a job. I know you want to get a job because you need money. Money earned is called income. Income can come from a job. It can come from tips from your job, or it can even come from your own business. Anything that you're doing actively, that's called active income. But that's not the only way that you can generate income. Money unearned is also income. Unearned income, that's called passive income. And that's, let's say, any investments that you might have, so like the stock market, let's say, or gifts on your birthday or Christmas or any other religious holiday that you might celebrate and you get money. That's unearned. You didn't do anything. You didn't work for that money. That's called your passive income. Regardless of your income, you're going to get taxed from the government. Anything that you make before the government gets its hands on it, so anything that you make before taxes, that's called gross income. It's dirty, it's gross, it's gross. But the government gets its hands on it, takes away the taxes that you owe the government. So your leftover income is called your net income. So you got gross income. That's the total money that you've earned, the total income that you've earned. And after the government collects its taxes, you're left with your net income. And your income, you yourself are going to divide your income, the money that you have, to supply whatever wants and needs you might have, because like this chapter is all about, it's all about consumerism. You are a consumer. We're going to take a look at this cartoon on this slide and the next slide. This is buying on a budget. We can see here John, he is working at Bridget's Burgers, and he's starting us off. Here's your order. Buy now. Then the manager comes along. Closing time, everyone. Let's clean up. John's thinking to himself, I'm glad I've got this job. I get to make more choices for myself, not like before. And we do a little like rewind, if you will, to how his life was before. Mom, can I have money for a movie? Again? How? You just saw one the other night. I know, but this new movie just came out. Well, okay, here you go. Can I have some more for snacks? Snacks too? I'm not made of money, John. Maybe it's time you earn some money of your own. So this was John in the past. Now John he's working at Bridget's Burgers. Good work, John. Here you go. Oh, my first paycheck. I'm not going to be rich anytime soon. So he's seeing how much he's making for the job that he is doing. So later on, he's at the mall. He's at the Mall of the World, probably West Edmonton Mall. Okay, first shopping, he's thinking to himself, then some lunch and a movie. Picks up his shirt, $80. Ouch, he says. That's a brand name shirt because in the next one, it's a brand free shirt. And he's like, yeah, I guess I'll get this one. Then he wants to get something to eat. Do you want fries with that? He's like, yeah, I do. Actually, he's looking at the money that he's got left over from buying that shirt. No. He wants to go to the movies, and you can see in the last frame here, and he wants to see this new movie that came out. And he's like, I shouldn't have bought that T-shirt. So his income is affecting his choice as a consumer. He wants new clothes, he wants something to eat, and he wants to have some entertainment. But on the wage that he's making, he did not make enough to be able to do all three of those things at the Mall of the World. He's going to have to work more hours to be able to maintain the lifestyle and the quality of life that he wants. We're going to jump to a much larger picture now. And this is gross domestic product, the GDP, the monetary market value of all of the final goods and services for a specific period of time for a specific country. Basically, your gross domestic product, your GDP, determines how healthy a country's economy is. It's measuring the amount of wealth that the economy generates. And this is done per capita, which means gross domestic product gets divided per person, and it gets reported, and it tells you, okay, how healthy is this economy. If the economy is experiencing a positive growth, we're in an economic boom. If we're experiencing a negative growth, then we are in an economic bust. The graphic that you see here, this is 20 facts about the North American economy between Canada and the United States. I'm not going to go through this graphic here. If you're really interested in this, you can definitely pause the video here so that you can see what these 20 facts are all about, talking about NAFTA and some travel and jobs and things like that. So if this is something that you're interested in, definitely pause the video now. And I want to leave us with one last slide for this chapter. This is the boycotts, the boycott slide. And a boycott is a decision usually made by a group of consumers. There's other types of boycotts, but in this example, for this chapter, we're only going to be talking about consumer boycotts. And it's the decision by a group of consumers, could even be an individual, not to buy certain products or services from a specific business or even from a specific country. And there's various reasons why consumers will begin a boycott of a service or a product or even a country. And some of the examples that I have listed here, some boycotts are used to take action on the following issues. So maybe the company is using child labor and you are against that, so you refuse to purchase a product made by child labor. Maybe you are concerned about the environment and the company, the product, the service, or the country that you are purchasing from maybe doesn't have a good environmental track record. It could be because of taxes, right? You don't want to support a specific company, a certain company, because maybe they are not paying taxes or they're not paying their fair share of taxes. Or you can even go for something like human rights, for example. They're not treating employees or citizens the way you feel employees or citizens should be treated. There's all kinds of reasons for boycotts. These are just some of the main reasons that exist, but you can go online, and if you pay attention in class, you remember some of the examples and some of the websites that we went to that explained and showed consumer boycotts and what were currently, or what was, or is, I should say, currently in place with regards to some countries, some businesses, and even some products. All right, I want you to head over to your notebooks and complete the questions for this part of the chapter.